And I'm normally not one to review stuff that I buy, but I actually really like this. I picked this up today at Lowe's. It may or may not have been on clearance. It's just a small vertical smoker. And I honestly have to say, for 60 bucks, it was really easy to put together. I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with the $47 one from Walmart, the Brinkman. That has like the open bottom to it. If you have used it, I'm sure you figured out it does have some temperature regulation issues, mainly with it being just wide open bore at the bottom. This one is actually fully enclosed at the bottom. It took me alcohol minutes, but it took me about 45 minutes to put together, and after that it ended up coming out to this. And I mean, this is a really nice, sturdy smoker. Like, it's not loose. Probably because I put it together myself, and I'm better than probably your average guy at Lowe's or Home Depot, whatever. But I mean, I really like the construction of it. Still has that open door set up and everything in there, and opens from the top. It's got 2 different racks. Had planned to cook on it tonight, but then I thought about it. I kind of got to burn it off first with a load of charcoal, so there won't be any time to cook anything tonight. I'll go ahead and try to disassemble this real quick with one hand. Now, what I was saying about it being enclosed at the bottom, that actually is closed down there for pressure, I guess, to keep air from leaking out. Yeah, let's take this out real quick. There you have your water pan. It's another thing I really like too. I remember the Brinkman that I did have before didn't have a charcoal pan like this. This is a really nice, unique charcoal pan. It's actually got ventilation into the bottom of it. I thought this thing was fully sealed on the bottom, so I was curious how it worked. But after closer inspection, I'm just going to show you. Hell. Alright, so the center part lifts off. So it's ribbed right there. That clamps down. Yeah. Now, as far as this extends out over the outer lip. So this forms like a seal between the bottom and the top, which is really, really cool. So it's got airflow here, airflow all down the bottom. Now you look at this, and just looking at it, it looks like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, there's just one hole through the bottom. How's it going to breathe? Well, I was looking over it because my first concern was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and just drill some damn holes out just to make sure I got airflow and everything. But in further inspection, when I flipped it over, to my surprise, it actually has airflow right through those posts. And by looking at that, I'm actually thinking that's just about the amount of airflow that you're going to need on a smoker like this. Whereas that wide open bottom on the Brinkman, you can get it hot real fast, burn out your charcoal, and then you're back to square one. You got to pull it apart and refill it. The thing I like about this one is the whole top assembly comes off. So I can leave my food and my water pan and all that in there and just pull the top assembly off. I'll literally go ahead and reassemble it right in front of you just to show you how easy it is. That goes in. That goes on. Clamp 1. Where are you at here? Clamp 2. And the third and last clamp. Bam. You're done. You're assembled from the bottom half. What you do at the top is up to you at this point. Really sturdy construction on that part there. Drop in your water pan. Got that in there flush. Rack 1. And lastly, rack 2. Pop the top on it and voila, you're done. Check out that nifty dial. because I always didn't like the old warm, ideal, and hot. This one, I mean, I know how accurate these things are. I mean, you can take them with a grain of salt, but I know if I'm in that smoking warm area right in there, that's about where I want to be cooking at long term. I'm going to do something a little bit different too. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the video in just a few moments. Guess while we're out here, you might as well bear witness to this unbearable Georgia winter in Macon. Oh, the horror. National tragedy. Terrible weather. But alright, I mentioned a few minutes ago I was doing something a little bit different with this than what a traditionalist might. Alright, so this is the water pan, and I got it here wrapped in aluminum foil. I'll tell you why I do that. Previously, when using these type of setups and using water, the bottom of the food gets soggy. You can get a crust around the top, but that water pan generates so much steam. I don't know. I just didn't like the product, so I did some research, and I came up with sand. People use sand. Now, water boils at 212, and sand has a resonant temperature of about 250, but sand doesn't give off any water. You line the pan with aluminum foil, because after a while what can happen is the sand will get hard as it cures under the fire. It'll be too hard to get out. Anyway, yeah, so I'll go ahead and dump some of that in here. Let's see here. I don't know if I got the right type of sand. I mean, I went to Lowe's today, and people were so knowledgeable about sand when I got there. There was just so many to choose from. All one of the pavers sand. So, yeah. We're trying this. I've heard people say use playground sand. All they have now for kids is just the playground mulch in stores. So bear with me 1 second here. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up real quick. Alright, so I got my pan full of sand, lined and everything. By the way, first time using a chimney of my own. I like it. No lighter fluid might be the way to go. Anyway, alright, next step here is your top food is always going to be dripping. And when you get those drippings into the sand, they get hard, and so you don't want to do that. So you want to cover this in foil as well. Because basically all this is just a heat barrier. Just cover that in foil. Crimp those sides in so we'll try and flush down. This smells so good right now. I'm so pissed I'm not cooking any food tonight. But yeah, you got to go ahead and make sure you burn off any stuff that may be residual left from the factory. There we go. Yeah. These coals are starting to get hot now. I love this freaking chimney. I don't think I'll ever like coals a different way. No match lights here. That's just straight, I'm ready to burn. Alright, anyway. While those do what they do, let's go ahead and move this out the way and get everything ready here. That way when it's time to get ready to dump, we're good to go. Basically, it's a dry burn if you don't know what it is. All we're going to do really here, we're going to fill it up with charcoal down here. Assemble it as if you were going to actually cook something, and then just let it go. Let it go, let it have fun. Really, I want to see what the temperature is going to do on it. That way when I actually do get some food in here, I'll see if there need to be any adjustments. See if I need to seal off a hole or drill a few more, or, you know, things like that. Alright, just dump the chimney in there on top of the cold coals. So they're all intermingling now. Just gonna go ahead and got this already pre-assembled again. I'm not gonna lie, I already pre-assembled it by accident for like 2 minutes and realized I didn't tape it. So let's go ahead and get that back on. Alright. So, like I said, take your clamp, pop that on, boom. Number 2, bam bam, clamp it down. And number 3 is definitely putting off some heat. Alright. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and top it off. Come back in about 10-15 minutes and see what she's doing. Alright, it hadn't been 10 minutes. It hadn't been 30 seconds, but I just put the top on it. And I just wanted to go ahead and put it out there here. There's no wood or anything in it. It's just charcoal right now. Usually I don't get this type of smoke production off charcoal, at least in a setup like this. But yeah, it's already putting out a little bit of smoke here. The temp is already showing that it's rising, so we'll see where it's at in about probably 14 minutes now. Alright, so we're about 15-20 minutes in. Got that temperature sitting a little higher than I wanted to, honestly. So, no worries, tomorrow I plan on using the minion method anyway, so that's going to help it out. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it so far. Let's take a look down in the firebox. And then it's got enough space to actually throw some wood in there if you need to. Yeah, Brinkman didn't have all that. Still heating up. Go ahead and share some info about something I did to the smoker as well. You can probably see the foil around the door. It's supposed to help with leaks and everything as far as the smoke goes. I don't know if it's helping or hurting more, but we'll see about that in time. Temp has actually came up pretty good, right about where I want to be cooking it roughly for the long term. But one of the things I did this morning after the first cook, I noticed this thing had a real ash issue. As far as the ashes go, they just build up and they'll smother the fire after a while. So what I did was I drilled about probably about 6 to 8 holes into the bottom of the pan. The pan is already ventilated, but it's not ventilated in a way that the ashes will get out. So this way, if I want to come out here at 2 or 3 in the morning and just kick the pan, the ashes will go into that bottom pan and give that thing some more room to breathe in there. It actually helped with temp earlier today during the other burn session I did in it. I noticed the temp was a little bit higher in that reed. Looks like this is still climbing now too. Yeah, still climbing a little bit. But yeah, I really want to get it between right around that 250 mark if I can dial it in there, maybe a little bit higher. Hardest part about smoking is not opening the thing up. So I want to open up in there and look right now, but I'm battling it. About to go inside and probably start editing some of this footage. But yeah, I drilled those out into the bottom. Next thing I might do, I saw somebody actually modify it where they pretty much cut out about 11 or 12 inches of the bottom pan and got a 13-inch Weber charcoal thing, and they just put it in the bottom. So it was just an open bottom. The only thing is, I'm worried about temp control with doing that. Will that make it cook hotter or what? So I'm going to see how this cook goes first, just with the modification I did, and depending on how that is, I'll see if I want to modify it anymore. I mean, it's a $60 smoker, so I got low expectations for it, but I mean, at the same time, though, I know I can do a few different things here.